What's going on, guys? So I thought I'd just upload, I guess I've been playing the PoE 1 League because of the AllFlame, and I haven't done any real updates. I haven't even done like a for day one video or anything. I kind of had a bit of a late start and I wasn't really playing as much as I would have liked, but I was following obviously Captain Lance's build with the Merc bots and the Ice Shot. Um, and I thought I'd just like talk about some things that maybe people. I know a lot of people thought it was a bait build. I see a lot of comments on his macro guide and everything, or mobalytics guide. Sorry. About people just really upset that I guess they weren't able to get a good Merc bot in the campaign, and the build felt super underwhelming or whatever it might have been. So I just wanted to go through quickly my gear. Um, I don't actually have return proj on Val Ice Shot. I found this one yesterday, and it basically rolled about as good as you can get on normal Ice Shot. I would have liked to have return even as well, or just return off Ice Shot and on Val Ice Shot, just better single target, obviously. Um, Now, through the campaign was interesting. So I know Captain Lance talks about that he switched around Act 6. I was absolutely not able to do that. I was basically, I would assume, like everyone else, I was rolling bad mercs every single time I'd find them. And I ended up sticking with a Spectral Throw of Trathus, like trap blade caster. I can't remember, blade biter. I can't remember the name of it, but it basically got me through to early maps. I didn't have the greatest time. I ended up actually like basically specking more into like burn and fire damage slash dot multi to even things out for my righteous fire because my merc was just not doing enough damage in early maps. Eventually, like, I think I did like a tier 3 map and I just survived and got a kinetic rain and kinetic blast like Kineticist. And that was fun. However, getting to like tier 8 maps, I was really starting to notice the damage fall off and I didn't really have like enough currency to get any good gear. But then I did end up finding a Val Ice Shot and Ice Shot like 74 Merc in one of the maps, and I managed to kill it. Those guys are scary. If you are going to kill mercenaries in maps, make sure they have no mods. You are going to get rolled. Otherwise, I have got literally killed by burn damage to like infamous flame quivers. So they are very scary this league, and especially if you run notables that give I know there's like a notable here that gives like them increased effective auras and obviously cooldown recovery and onslaught, which is even worse. That makes them extremely scary. Um, However, yeah, for the righteous fire path, obviously you can basically just search like fire damage. I'm not even on the right tree. People path up here, get the fire damage, all this stuff up here. Um, you don't worry about these linked bonds, just like prioritize like fire damage until you get a decent merc bot, because having these link skills with a bad merc bot will basically do nothing. That's what I found out. You can just ignore this. I just got that for a challenge. I guess I'll show you this tree. Obviously, I got the prodigious defense. It's just nice. I've got it on both my clusters. I've anointed Golem's blood on my amulet. so I don't have to path here. However, having the 12% extra life is probably not the worst thing if you wanted to do that as well. I will have all of these, all this in the description for the PoB. As for my defenses, I saw Captain Lance was going like the Adorned route. Obviously, that is like the best way to scale health, but the price of Adorned jewels right now are insane, and I don't really know if I'm going to keep playing this character for much longer. However, I am thinking about maybe messing around with some of the mercenaries. I did want to try get a Spark mercenary working. But yeah, as you can see, 72% chance to block attack damage and 22% chance to block spell damage. Obviously, you can run the notable that makes it's okay. Yeah, here. So you get 2% chance to block spell damage for each 1% overcap chance to block attack damage. If you wanted to go that route, obviously you do have to invest more into attack damage block. But yeah, that's just a rough overview of my tree. As for the Atlas, I'm basically just running Shrines, Exarch, Altar, blocking a bunch of stuff, and Mercenaries, to be honest. And obviously, the best way to, in maps, have like a shot at seeing a ManyShot Merc is obviously have, you want it to be Dex, so obviously you just try and block out the strength and int Rex. Obviously, if you wanted a strength or an intelligence Merc, you would do vice versa. House Kyaxon is the house that the ManyShots are from, so same with the infamous ManyShots, so you should do that as well. I would highly advise when you're searching for these mercs, do not run Faith in Arms or Trathan Vapors. They are an absolute trap. I've tried to do them. It is hell. They will just one-shot you even with like 5 shrines and the Curse Trove Tormented buff. It's insane. So, and they did just add this, so if you're running like Rogue Exiles or Mercenaries, this is kind of to counteract the fact that Mercenaries are insane to deal with, especially in the higher maps with mods. Lost in Transit as well, I did actually see a Sacred Orb from one of those, which is kind of funny, but that's that. Now I guess the fun part is, well, I guess I'll show you the Kineticist that I was running for a bit. It's got 2 tamings, the Untouched Soul. I would like to have something else instead of Barrage, but I thought this was pretty fun. It does a lot of damage, but it kind of struggles in like Ubers because obviously if it's just like a small room, it's kind of like the blasts don't actually like hit really. So, but what I wanted to show you was this guy. So this is the guy that I've been running since I got him like 2 days ago or a day ago. You can run 2 tamings. Like I was running 2 tamings because this is not a cheap ring. Enmity's Embrace. Let me just have a look. Like right now, it's 4 divines, 5 divines. Yeah, going up. And I think I got mine for 4. I didn't get it early on in the league. Obviously, it decreases your fire resistance by a certain amount depending on the role you get. And it obviously, yeah, it does penetrates fire res equal to your overcap fire res. So you want to basically overcap fire res as much as possible. Obviously, I don't have max fire res rolls on my gear, but I will just show you the gear that this guy's running. So this was hell. I tried to I think I went through like 8 fracturing orbs trying to fracture a bow attacks via 2 additional arrows, and I was failing every time, and I must have spent like 50 divines trying to roll this. So, if you want a bow that fires 2 additional attack arrows, try to buy it. You are going to save money unless you know exactly what you're doing. I'm not a master crafter. So that's just not financial advice, but you get me. So, socketed projectile gems, projectiles pierce an additional target. rarity, because we're basically using the Merc's rarity, so you want rarity on all the pieces, and accuracy. Now I can't remember, I think there's like a 4K accuracy rating cap, which you can get to with like global accuracy rating increases and accuracy rating number modifiers, but I don't even think I'm there, but it works alright anyway, so I guess it is what it is. And yeah, obviously untouched soul with lethality. This just helps you get to way over res cap, chaos res, fire res, evasion res on the chest. I've got hybrid evasion, projectile speed, projectile damage craft on an attack speed, fire res, and rarity plus accuracy. Gloves, obviously increase elemental damage with attacks. You just want to basically fill out the rest of the resistances. I think ideally you want on this, like you want, there's like a craft that you can get that increases your crit based on how much overcap lightning res you have. So stuff like that is insane, but those body armors are not cheap right now. And yeah, obviously same thing here. So you would probably want rarity on here instead of cold res if you could get it, but this works as well. And obviously another thing is drop the sapped ground. It's just another form of ailment that we can get. Attack speed on the gloves, attack speed on the quiver, frenzy charge on crit, global crit strike chance, fire res, global crit strike multiplier, and increased damage with both skills. The rolls are kind of bad. I did buy that one. However, the taming works great. The taming untouched soul is basically like a 2 times damage, maybe even 3 times. And then obviously Enmity's Embrace, if you have a decent overcapped fire res, you're probably going to get more value out of it. But yeah, that's my character. And I thought I'd just go over my actual character. Pretty standard, basically what you've probably seen if you've seen Captain Lance's build. Stormblast Mine, Minefield Support, Assassin's Mark. Assassin's Mark just helps with the crit chance and crit chance multiplier, and power charges. Hallowed Monarch, obviously a non-negotiable. Glorious Plate for 1,000 life. Obviously, I think you can get less life. Try to get the one with 1,000 life. Just do it in quality. You can corrupt it too if you wanted. Gloves, Chaos Res, Evasion Rating, Regen. Now, I did just get this. I just needed the extra deck so I could take off a notable on the passive tree, but obviously this is great. You get non-unique utility flasks applied to linked targets. Boots, Chaos Res, move speed. You can get more move speed, in more max life, all that stuff. 2 Vermilion Rings, 7% max roll life. Global accuracy rating on both just helps us get to that accuracy rating cap. Rarity, more life, and obviously light radius. Light radius helps with the link range, so you don't have to keep spamming it. It's annoying when you have no light radius. Obviously, Rot Mother's Mutiny, an insane amulet this league. You can basically run it on. I mean, you can basically run this exact gear on your character for any mercenary you play. So I think that's kind of cool, because you just have to basically gear a mercenary, and the mercenaries can basically just use 2 tamings and the untouched soul. And like, I mean, the untouched soul is pretty cheap right now. So, like, you can get some pretty cheap ones that don't have the craziest rolls. Another thing that I'd talk about is the Animate Guardian. So I've got Learcast, boots that have regen, chaos res, fire res, drop scorch ground. Another way to get that. Burn, chance to intimidate, inflict fire exposure. I have a dying breath because Kingsmaker Kingmaker, sorry, is 23 divines right now. So this is just a nice thing. It's just the extra 18% damage. Nothing crazy, but it is nice to have. You might as well just have it. There are some other. I think Gazzy has like a whole guide on his website or something, one of his websites. And yeah, obviously Nictor's Lantern, light radius is insane. Shield, scorch enemies. You can get sap enemies. They just obviously apply different things. Increased chance to block. Max life roll. Socketed support gems. You obviously want the flame link to be as high a level as you can. And obviously additional physical damage reduction is nice. You want recover life on block. Like recover a percent of life on block. I think you have to like veil it because it's like I can't remember if it's like a shape or warlord influence mod. So that's how you get that. I could not be asked because it just that bow just killed my enjoyment for crafting this league, to be honest. As for the corpses for Ray Spectre, I'm just using this for Culling Strike for bosses. Now, you can use the PDR Turtle, you can use a bunch of different things. There's a bunch of different spectres you can use. This one's just a bit cheaper, so if I always fucking just accidentally delete it and have to resummon it and rebuy it, so that's why I'm doing it this way. So, I guess next thing I wanted to talk about was obviously having a lot of people complain about Captain Lance's bait build or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's bait at all. I think the biggest thing that people were maybe confusing was like getting the energy shield. Light radius is based on energy shield instead of life. Now, the 30% increased light radius is nice to have, but if you don't have like 6k energy shield and a weapon swap, you're not going to get here. Now, that's what Captain Lance was doing. He was weapon swapping for a little bit, and I think that a lot of people got confused because they thought that I needed like something rather than something else, or they just weren't sure on how to get how to scale the damage basically. So I wrote down some things that I found drastically increased the damage, especially after I got my first Ice Shot Merc. The biggest thing that I noticed was Flame Link gem level plus quality. So obviously having Empower and then the +2 level of socketed support gems and then the Flame Link, so you're getting +6 from all the supports, and then so it gets to level 27. That's a big one. Also, another big one is life rolls. Like, I don't have, as you can see, like I got 60, 66. That one's pretty good. 157, 64, 66. But like, you need like max rolls. Like, obviously, as you can see, these are tier 5 rolls. Like, they're not high at all. And so like, Lance is at like 17k. I'm at 13k. When I was at anything less than 8k, even the Val shot felt like it was doing like no damage. So life extremely underrated and understated by Lance, I feel like. But I also feel like it's one of those things where the tooltips do tell you how things scale, but sometimes, especially newer people or more casual players, will just miss things like that, which I think that it is up to the creator to explain certain things for like 100% for sure. I also wanted to just talk about the enmities embrace versus the taming. Now, unless you're running a map that has like insane elemental resistances, you probably won't see the biggest difference in damage. Maybe at bosses you might, in terms of like burst DPS, but in general, running 2 tamings is absolutely not a bad idea if you don't have the money for Enmity's Embrace early. Obviously, lethality is a big one, just helps us get the crit chance up and the crit multiplier. And yeah, that's that. I'm gonna put the PoB and everything in the description. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, or yeah, ask me whenever. And I'll chat to you guys later. Peace out.